Hello everybody, glad to be with you for youth again this Wednesday. Last week when I began the video, I offered a challenge to the first person who could correctly tell me the location I was shooting the video from would receive a $10 gift certificate to Chick-fil-A. Ford Evans texted me. He was the only person to text me, and he texted me the correct location, which was in the second floor hallway at the round window at the end of the hallway. So Ford, you win the gift certificate. This week I have the same challenge, except I'm going to up it to $15. The first youth who can text me the correct location I'm shooting the video from at church will receive a $15 gift certificate to Chick-fil-A. I'm very excited to say that I spoke with Dawn Livingston from the Hinton Center today. Dawn is very optimistic that we're going to proceed forward. They're going to proceed forward with all their mission trip programming for this summer. The June 7th senior high mission trip is more dependent on the governor's rollout of his phases, so we'll still have to wait a little bit and see what the recommendations are as Hinton will follow those recommendations. As a result of COVID, you can imagine that we're going to have a waiver that everybody will have to sign, and Hinton will also have a waiver related to that. But I still remain optimistic, and Dawn was very optimistic that all mission trips would go forward. Graduation Sunday is May 31st. I'd like to have all high school and college graduates sign up for Graduation Sunday on the youth webpage. If you include your information, I'll recognize you during the service and in the bulletin. I'd also like for you to send me pictures to include in a Graduation Sunday slideshow that will show during the service. Hopefully we'll be able to gather after the service and have a luncheon, but if not, I'll still show the video during the service. Today I wanted to share a little bit different information, just some thoughts, and today they're going to be financial thoughts. I've shared with my kids their whole life and with many youth about rules that I think we need to follow in order to manage our money well. Pastor Allen always used to tell me and say at church, he said, you manage your money, don't let your money manage you. And so to that end, rule number one that I've always asked for everybody to follow, my kids, and tried to follow it in my life, I've done better as I got older, but is don't spend more than you make or don't spend more than you have. We often see things and want things instantly and somehow feel like we deserve things. And maybe we do at times, but still the fact remains that we cannot spend money that we don't have. So please set your expectations and understand that fact that you really can't spend more than you make. While that seems obvious, I think it's difficult for people to follow, and I want to encourage you to do that. Rule number two, it's related to rule number one. Don't use a credit card to buy things that you can't pay for. Using a credit card as a mechanism to pay for things that you then pay for when you pay your credit card bill is great. In fact, in many ways, it's probably better than carrying and paying in cash. But you have to be disciplined enough not to buy things on your credit card that you really can't pay for when the bill comes due. Again, that goes back to rule number one, don't spend more than you make or don't spend more than you have. Rule number three is related to certainly rule number one, buy a reasonable car. And by that means, I think in our culture and society today and the way we're spread out, I definitely think that almost all of us need transportation. Certainly when you come driving age, you need transportation. And I think that you do need to have a reasonable, safe, dependable, reliable car. But don't buy a car that you can't afford, which goes back to rule number one. And once you do buy a car, don't trade cars. Pay for your car, drive it, maintain it, and keep using it. And then if you do these three rules that I'm suggesting, you may not be a millionaire, but you will manage your finances instead of your finances and your debt managing you. Having excessive debt or having debt in our life is just a real difficult thing to manage. And I'm speaking to youth now mostly, maybe adults too, but mostly I'm speaking to youth that don't have tons of money yet. So start this practice early, and it will carry you through and treat you well in your life. Again, building large amounts of debt creates so much strain on our life and our relationships, and I just don't want that for you. Again, these are just a few thoughts I've had. I've tried to live by these in my life. It's nothing fancy. I'm sure you can gain better guidance from a more seasoned financial person. But again, these will work for you very well if you honor them and do them. Again, I want you to manage your money and not your money managing you. Give generously to church, to other people who don't have the things that you have and the resources you have. Give and help. Spend your money wisely for yourself and your family. And then also, I think you should save money for things that are unforeseen in the future. Those things always arise, and it's important for us to have money saved for emergencies that we had not planned. Again, I think if you set yourself up for these expectations in the very beginning, it makes it easier for you to follow it as a lifetime. Again, I love you guys. Just wanted to share these simple thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully we'll be back together at church for graduation Sunday, and hopefully be able to go on the mission trips. I will continue to keep you posted. Bye-bye.